Fambo, I beg you listen me. I beg you open your ears for any waiting at they say. Waiting at they talk. Now serious talk at they talk go. No be Telangaye speaking. Listen. In this world we deal. Members say ya. One day go come. When we all go. Before long, we go meet Mama Godo. When we dey meet Mama Godo, tell me, waiting, you go say.
That define your story beyond your life, like the day they arrived.
Signs of what might be called first contact. The objects measure at least.
I'm Colonel G.T. Weber from Army Intelligence. Pack your bags. You're at the top of everyone's list when it comes to translations. Priority 1. What do they want? Where are they from? You'll be reporting to me, but you'll be working with him when you're in the show.
That's what they call in the UFO.
Who's being carted off in the medevac?
Not everyone is wired for what you're about to do.
So what do they look like?
You'll see soon enough.
Every 18 hours, a door opens up. That's where we go in.
It's done. Yeah, that just happened.
What happens now?
They arrive.
They need to see me.
Dr. Banks? Are you insane?
Now that's a proper introduction.
More objects have landed around the world.
This is one of 12. I'm never going to be able to speak their words.
Got 2 days.
Figure something out.
I am human. It's their language. We need to make sure that they understand the difference between a weapon and a tool. Language is messy, and sometimes one can be both.
Are you dreaming in their language? It's possible they're prodding us to fight among ourselves.
This is just a way to force us to work together for once.
It's more complicated than that.
How is it more complicated?
Russia just executed one of their own to keep their secret
Got 21 hours.
before they start global war.
So how do we clarify their intentions?
I go back in.
Why does this feel worse?
Of the presence being with us in Isaiah 64, and it was all to do with volcanic eruptions and earthquakes, and it took us to what was going on during the Exodus. And it says, since that time, the presence has not been seen. Now we see these signs again showing themselves. We've got 30 to 40, what do they say, volcanoes going off. How many thousands of earthquakes are we having now? The globe is shaking. So it's identifying that the presence is here, but it's also identifying the Ancient of Days arrival as a huge planetary system is what it's identifying. And she says, I will scroll back the heavens in Revelation 6, and she says, you will bear witness to the one that sits upon the throne. So this large inbound planetary system is the Ancient of Days arriving for the court case that you see described in the book of Daniel, Daniel 7. Let me look it up here in my Bible. I got it pulled up, but I'm going to look it up here. Daniel chapter 7 is describing the Ancient of Days and why she is here. And I had this so much clearer this morning. It makes me mad that I can't do the videos when I'm ready to do them. Because the clarity is there, and they're just not there after the fact. Okay, so Daniel, I'm just about there. I say I am. Okay, so Daniel chapter. Oh, come on. It's 7 or 8. Okay. Let me see here. All right, verse 9. So Daniel 7 verse 9 describes the Ancient of Days and why she's here, why she shows up. And it has to do with the end times. All right? I beheld till the thrones were cast down, and the Ancient of Days did sit, whose garment was white as snow, and the hair of her head, its mother, she, like the pure wool, and her throne was like the fiery flame, and her wheels as burning fire. Wheels is simply another term, I believe, for planets. That's what I believe. A fiery stream issued and came forth from before her. Thousands and thousands ministered unto her, and 10,000 times 10,000 stood before her. The judgment was set, and the books were opened. You see what you're seeing? You're seeing the judgment. That's what you're seeing. And what does God say the day of the Lord is about? The controversy of Zion, which is a case at law. So this is what judgment is going forth, because we see what happens going on during this case. I beheld them because of the voice of the great words which the horn spake. I beheld even till the beast was slain, and his body destroyed and given to the burning flame. So that's the beast system coming down of this world. As concerning the rest of the beast, they had their dominion taken away, yet their lives were prolonged for a season and a time. And then I saw in the night vision, and behold, one like, it says the Son of Man. No, this is the daughter of woman being brought. This is Israel being brought. Came with the clouds of heaven. That's her witnesses. That's her 144,000. Go look the word clouds up in Greek. It means witnesses. That's what it means. And this is also the angel that you see standing in Revelations 10, taking back her dominion. She's got 1 foot on the water and 1 foot on the ground. It's showing her as the Holy One, the Spirit taking back her dominion. And she swears by she that lives forever. So one like the daughter of woman, that's Israel, came with her inheritance, her daughters of Zion, her witnesses, that are the Spirit bearing witness to the blood and the water. That's what they do, which is the dividing of the waters so she can birth her children out. And came to the Ancient of Days, and they brought her near before her, and there was given her dominion and glory. Daughter Zion is promised to have her dominion restored back to her. And a kingdom, and all people, nations, and languages should serve her. And her dominion is an everlasting dominion which shall not pass away. And her kingdom that shall not be destroyed. Now this is understood. I understood this to be just what I said it was. I, Daniel, was grieved in my spirit in the midst of my body, and the vision of my head troubled me. And it troubled him because he's been taught that it's man that rules the kingdom. And it is not. It is woman identified as the spirit that rules the kingdom, who did indeed get cast down, and then as the nation of Israel got split into 2 covenants, one that would teach man as God, 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 male, 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 and then the other one that became the outcast that no man sought after. Now, watch what else it says here. It says, this is what I linked it to. We see God, and I'm going to say it's the Ancient of Days calling here. And that's in Isaiah. Watch what it says here. We can draw this correlation. Now, I ain't doing it well this morning. I wish I'd have wrote it down word for word the way it came into my mind. But in Isaiah 63, God says this: where is she that put her Holy Spirit within Moses? The Holy Spirit. So we're also told this in, where is it? Jeremiah 30, verse 21. Their leader will be one of their own. All right? Their ruler will arise from among them, and I will bring her near. So it's the daughter of woman, the woman seed, Israel, which is feminine. So it's the queen of the kingdom being restored, the dominion back. She's being brought with her witnesses, which is also seen as her female companions in Psalm 45. And she's being brought in, and the books are open. She had to present her court case. She could not present it. She had to. She absolutely had to. And we're told it in Revelations 4:1, before anything else can go forward, she has to come forth. That's what we're told in our understanding when we break the words down. And it says, I will bring her near, and she will come close to me. Right? And the idea is, who would dare approach me except for the one that I do call for? And I put my spirit upon her. And you see, the one she's calling out is found in Isaiah 63:11. Where is she that put her Holy Spirit within him? She's calling her to come forth. You're going to see the heavens scroll back. That's what you're going to see. The presence is already with us. We're seeing all the indicators, which is shown us in Isaiah 64, that she is present on the earth. And God sees that, sees her witnessing in the earth as the Spirit to the blood and to the water. She's able to part that lie. And she says, you didn't see God's footsteps. They were covered over. And how did they get covered over? They got covered over by an admixture of doctrine, which is allegorical to the Red Sea or the Reed Sea. And it has the idea of a bitter water. Right? They imputed blood into her laws of peace and love and truth and equity. So she scrolls back the heavens. She shows you the heavenly battle that is taking place. That dark covering hid from our eyes. You see that dark covering again. Where is it? Isaiah 25. Yeah, I believe it's in Isaiah 25. She says, I'll take that dark covering, that veil, that dark veil over all the nations of the earth, and I'm going to scroll it back, and I'm going to show you the truth of what's playing out there. It's a big heavenly battle going on. But when I come, you're going to see me. You're going to bear witness to me and my arrival, which just so happens to be akin to the effects of what a large planetary system would have on our planet. And so when that appears, it's as if the throne of God appearing for the judgment or for the day of the Lord, which is about the controversy of Zion. And it says the books were opened. Where else do you see the books being opened? So you've got to go back into your Old Testament in order to really see what they did wrong in the New. And so she calls forth her spirit out of the earth, is what it looks like, for this court case that she has come forth for. And it looks like it's going to be a huge planetary system that's going to appear in our skies. You're not going to be able to deny it. At this point, the kings of the earth are going to hide in the caves, and they're going to pray for him to fall on them. Because you see, these ones have taken counsel against her holy ones, against her hidden ones, and have been very deceptive. Let me get it right here. So the point is, she says, where is my spirit? That put her spirit inside of Moses. I call her forth to me. And the only one that would dare come forward to me is the one that I call for. That's the only one that would dare step up, is what she's saying there. And so it's not son of man, it's daughter of woman, Israel, being brought back to her. And she is promised full restoration in the book of Micah, to which then after she receives her dominion, she is permitted to go forth in judgment. That's what it looks like. What was I looking for again? 64? Was I looking for 64? I think I was looking for 64. Oh, that thou wouldest rend the heavens, that thou wouldest come down, that the mountains might flow down at thy presence. What's that? That's a volcano. As when the melting fire burneth, the fire causes the waters to boil, to make thy name known to thine adversaries. This is the daughter Zion. That the nations may tremble at thy presence. When thou didst terrible things which we looked not for, thou camest down. The mountains flowed down at thy presence. For since the beginning of the world, people have not heard nor perceived by the ear, neither has the eye seen, O God, beside thee, what she hath prepared for her that waiteth for her arrival. Thou meetest her that rejoiceth and worketh righteousness, those that remember thee in thy ways. Behold, thou art wroth, for we have sinned. In those is continuance, and we shall be saved. But we are all as an unclean thing. All right. So she says, but this takes you back to, I thought it said it right in it. Right back to the deliverance of Israel in the Exodus. And there is none that calleth upon thy name, that stirreth up himself or herself to take hold of thee. So again, that links us back to when we begin to cry out for justice. We begin for our case to call out, for our case to be heard, and for the truth of God's law to be restored back to earth, and for the equality of that law to be seen in the earth again. So we begin to go in, we begin to search for our court case, and to set it in order. The Ecclesiastes 12 Koheleth, and she says, now will I reproach you, and I will set the case in order. And then you see the daughter Zion here being brought to the Ancient of Days, her mother, and given back her dominion, which you see she's restored back to in Micah chapter 4. And we know she's the judge, and she's the one who can decide how it goes down, because she becomes the judge, because the dominion's restored back to her authority to do so. And she's the judge that was struck on the cheek. You find that in Micah chapter 5 verse 1, O daughter of troops. All of it lines up. The Ancient of Days is going to arrive. All the signs are there of a large inbound planetary system. It's the throne. That's what you're seeing. Daniel 7, the Ancient of Days, the throne. She arrives. She scrolls back the heavens. She shows you who sits on the throne. She calls forth her daughter, Israel. She calls her forth. She says, where is my spirit? Where is the spirit? Where is the one that put her spirit upon Moses and led him through the water? Where is she? I call her forth now. And I call her forth to give her testimony. And at that point, which is about the day of the Lord, the controversy of Zion, at which point her throne is restored back to her, her dominion is restored back to her, and then she can go forth as the judge and thresh the nations. That's what it looks like.